What if everything we know about ancient Egypt is a lie? For centuries, we were told the Great Sphinx was built 4,500 years ago. But new evidence completely shatters this timeline. Geologists have uncovered deep rain erosion on the monument, something that should be impossible in the Egyptian desert. The last time this region had that kind of rainfall? More than 10,000 years ago. If that's true, then the Sphinx wasn't built by the pharaohs at all. It means an unknown civilization, one far older than Egypt, once existed and vanished without a trace. But here's where things get even stranger. For centuries, the Great Sphinx of Giza has stood as a silent witness to history. Carved from limestone, its weathered face has watched the rise and fall of empires. Official records tell us that Pharaoh Khafre ordered its construction around 2500 BC, during the golden age of the Old Kingdom. But what if that timeline is completely wrong? In the early 1990s, geologist Dr. Robert Schoch from Boston University made a groundbreaking discovery. He examined the Sphinx's body and found deep vertical grooves in the rock, erosion patterns that could only be caused by prolonged exposure to heavy rainfall. This presented an enormous problem for Egyptologists. The last time Egypt experienced such a wet climate was over 10,000 years ago, long before the first pharaohs walked the land. If the Sphinx bears the scars of an era of torrential rain, then logic suggests that it was already standing during that period. This would mean that its construction predates the known Egyptian civilization by thousands of years. Yet, mainstream scholars rejected Schoch's findings. Their argument? That the erosion could have been caused by wind and sand over millennia. But that explanation falls apart under closer scrutiny. The wind-driven erosion found on other monuments in Giza creates a completely different pattern. Horizontal striations, not the deep vertical channels seen on the Sphinx. Further complicating the official narrative is the peculiar design of the Sphinx itself. Its head appears disproportionately small compared to its massive body. Many researchers have suggested that the original Sphinx may not have been a lion at all, but something far older, perhaps an even earlier monument that was later recarved into its current form. Ancient Egyptian texts make cryptic references to an age before the pharaohs, a time when the gods ruled the earth. Could these myths hint at a lost civilization, one responsible for the original construction of the Sphinx? And if so, what happened to them? The resistance to these theories raises another question. Why would historians and archaeologists fight so hard to protect the traditional timeline? What secrets lie beneath the Sphinx's surface that could change everything we thought we knew about human history? If the Sphinx predates the Egyptian civilization, then who were its true builders? Some researchers believe that it may have been work of a lost advanced culture that thrived long before recorded history. But what evidence supports this claim? Scattered throughout ancient Egyptian texts are references to the Zep Tepi, or the first time, a golden age when divine beings supposedly walked the earth. Could this be a distorted memory of an earlier civilization, one that predated the pharaohs and left behind structures so grand that later Egyptians adopted them as their own? One of the most compelling pieces of evidence lies beneath the Sphinx itself. In the 1990s, seismic surveys conducted by researchers revealed the presence of mysterious hollow chambers beneath the monument. These anomalies suggest the existence of hidden rooms, possibly containing lost records or artifacts that could rewrite human history. But despite the findings, access to these areas remains restricted. Additionally, the precision of ancient megalithic structures around the world, including Göbekli Tepe in Turkey and the ruins of Pumapunku in Bolivia, raises further questions. These sites exhibit advanced stone-cutting techniques that should have been impossible for their respective time periods. Is it possible that a single lost civilization influenced multiple ancient cultures across the globe? If such a civilization existed, what happened to it? Did it succumb to a great cataclysm, like a sudden climate shift or a global flood? And if remnants of the society still lie buried beneath the sands of Egypt, why is there a concerted effort to keep them hidden? As we explore further, the pieces of this ancient puzzle begin to form a picture that challenges everything we thought we knew about history. But the greatest question remains. What secrets are still buried beneath the Sphinx, waiting to be uncovered? The idea that the Sphinx is thousands of years older than previously believed should be a breakthrough discovery. Yet, instead of being embraced, this theory has faced overwhelming resistance from the academic community. But why? What is at stake if the timeline of human civilization is rewritten? For decades, independent researchers and geologists have attempted to gain full access to the Sphinx and its surroundings. However, Egyptian authorities have imposed strict restrictions on excavation efforts, particularly in the area where underground chambers have been detected. Despite repeated calls for further investigation, these chambers remain unexplored, at least officially. Could they contain evidence that would completely alter our understanding of the ancient world? Some believe that powerful institutions have a vested interest in maintaining the established historical timeline. If a civilization predating ancient Egypt were confirmed, it would raise questions about the origins of humanity's first great societies. Were they influenced by an even older, lost culture? And if so, why has this history been buried? Both figuratively and literally, others suggest that historical revisionism is at play, with modern institutions suppressing information that could challenge long-accepted beliefs. Could revealing the true history of the Sphinx disrupt global narratives about the origins of civilization? Additionally, there are those who propose an even more controversial idea, that this knowledge was intentionally erased by those who came after. Ancient Egyptian priests, Roman conquerors, and modern governments all had reasons to suppress disruptive truths that could challenge the foundations of their own power. The Sphinx, standing as a monument to an unknown past, may hold the answers that would force us to rethink everything we know about history. But until the day comes when its secrets are fully revealed, we are left with only questions, and the suspicion that there is much more to this ancient enigma than we have been told.